there. Hi guys, Ange here. Thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about some eyeshadow palettes that I no longer have in my collection and that I have passed on, sold, whatever, and why they didn't work out for me. As I have suggested in previous videos, I will not hold on to makeup that I don't think I'm going to utilise, I'm going to use on a regular basis. I would like to keep my makeup collection to a manageable collection of makeup that I regularly use. I do not want to have makeup for the sake of having it, and if I'm not going to use it, I have either my daughter or other people that can get use from it. If it is in new condition, then I do tend to sell it. So eyeshadow palettes that I have moved on. I have moved on the MAC 9s. They have a mini palette which is called the 9s, and I had the MAC Burgundy 9s. Now, even though these had beautiful eyeshadows in this palette, I did not reach for it. No reason why, I just didn't utilise it, and I just thought if it had been sitting there and I hadn't used it, with it sitting there just longer, it wasn't going to make me use it anymore, so I moved this one on. I do like MAC shadows, but I do have to say I prefer Anastasia Beverly Hills and Makeup Geek shadows just a little bit better. Two very popular palettes that I didn't hold on to were the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palettes. Now, the original chocolate bar, every time I wanted to move this on, I would see somebody on YouTube say how it was their most favourite and most used and most amazing palette. I just never reached for it, so every time I went to move it on and I'd see someone rave about how great it was, I sort of thought, oh no, I need to hold on to it, this is an iconic palette, but I didn't use it. So I moved this palette on, and I was a little bit quicker in moving on the Semi-Sweet palette. I don't know what it was, the quality of these shadows were great and the colours were great, I just didn't use them. Another two popular palettes that I didn't hold on to and I didn't like them. So they were the reason why I got rid of them, and I'll probably be shot down by some people for this one, but it was the Urban Decay Naked palettes. I had the Naked 1 and the Naked 2. Did not like these palettes at all. I didn't like the quality of them. I just didn't like the shadows. There was nothing about them that I liked at all. I moved them on after trying repeatedly to get them to work. I much prefer my single shadows. I think the quality is far superior than the shadows in the Naked palettes. These are my opinions, guys. I don't want to offend anyone who absolutely loves these palettes. They didn't work for me. Maybe it was because there were too many shimmers in them, and of recent times more palettes have come out with more mattes in them, and maybe that is what I prefer, but I just didn't like the Naked 1 and the Naked 2 palettes. Another Too Faced palette that I tried to love and loved the colours, but I just didn't utilise, was the Too Faced Naturalised palette. Beautiful colours, just didn't use it, so that got moved on as well. All the Tarte holiday palettes. For quite a few years I was a sucker for buying every holiday palette that came my way. I was wowed with the colour selection. I must admit I love Tarte eyeshadows, so I bought every darn holiday palette that came out. The problem that I found for real life was the packaging was cumbersome. Usually there were a ton of eyeshadow, so it was normally a large palette, and I tend to put my larger palettes down low, out of reach, so I wasn't reaching for them. Some of the packaging just came in ridiculous packaging, so it just took up a lot of room, and I've learned over the past and this last holiday season gone, I did not buy any holiday palettes that were cumbersome. So hopefully I've learnt my lesson, because I never utilised them. Most of them, when I did get rid of them, did give them away. I probably had only used 20% of the palettes, and so most of them were like brand new. So even though I love Tarte palettes and I love the eyeshadows, the holiday palettes are a bit of a marketing thing, and I got caught up in it, but I just didn't use them. More recently, the Tarte Toasted palette. This is a great palette. It's got beautiful colours in it. The only reason I didn't hold on to it is that I actually had very comparable colours in my single eyeshadow collection, and I didn't need this. I should never have purchased it, but this is where it becomes a problem when you don't have access to certain brands. You don't get to actually see the palettes, and you are working off people's recommendations, swatches online, etc. So it was a palette that once I got it, I realised, heck, I have got so many colours in my collection already that are so similar to this, I didn't need to hold on to it, so I sold it. I am going to mention this palette because I still have it, and it is the Natasha Denona Aries palette. I love this palette to look at. Absolutely love this palette to look at. I love the colours. I'm actually going to quickly insert a clip because I was going to do a review on this palette, but as much as I have tried to wear this blue, I love this blue. I really, really love this blue, and that is really why I bought the palette. But it doesn't matter how many ways I've tried to do a tutorial using this palette. It's just not age appropriate for me. It's not me. It's too far out of my comfort zone. I love it. I do love it, but it's not practical. We have nude, red bronze, burnt terracotta, ice blue, peach bronze. And something else that really upset me when I did try to video the last attempt at a tutorial with this was this. Really, really unhappy that I've only had this palette since before Christmas, and I've lost one of the eyeshadows out of there already. Now I believe Tati had the same problem, but it looks inside the palette, I'll try and come up close, it looks inside the palette that has actually shrunk in there, which is why it has fallen out. So whilst it is a beautiful palette, I'm moving it on, because it's unwearable for me, for my maturity, for my lifestyle. So I will move this on, and as this has fallen out, it might be a donation to somebody. So that's that eyeshadow palette there. They are eyeshadow palettes that I've had, that I've moved on, and somewhere in the near future I will do a video on the eyeshadow palettes that I have and that I love. So I will be doing that in the near future. Thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed that, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button down below. I'd truly appreciate it. Would love to see you back for more videos. I upload 2 videos a week, and I just hope you've all had a beautiful and wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. See you later, guys. Bye.